For all things Halloween, this is hauntformer, and welcome to my Spirit Halloween 2018 Sneak Peek Rewind Part 2. If you haven't, make sure to check out Part 1. I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can check that out. And you know what? It's actually kind of sad. The Spirit Halloween Sneak Peek season is over. Aww. But I want to thank each and every one of you for, watching my sneak peek videos, commenting, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. You truly made this season spooktacular. And on top of that, I think this might be one of the best Spirit Halloween seasons we've seen in a long, long time. With that being said, this list was very hard to make, so not everything is 100%, but I am pretty confident in this list reflecting my views on the Spirit Halloween props for 2018. I'm not going to get in depth with a lot of the props. Make sure to check out my individual videos. There are 19 of these after all, so I want to make this video quick and painless for you guys. With all of that being said, let's jump into part 2 of my Spirit Halloween Rewind. Coming in at last place goes to none other than Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you saw my individual on this girl, then you know exactly why I'm not a big fan of this prop. What's sad is, I actually really love the Nightmare Before Christmas film, but this is not a good representation of the character. The eye blinking is too loud, the movement is weak and robotic, and even with that movement, it doesn't justify the really heavy price tag. The only thing redeeming this one is the fantastic appearance, which definitely resembles the character from the film, but I can't see it pushing through with that high price tag and with the weak movement to be something worthwhile. Coming in at second to last place, as you'll know, I kind of flipped a few things from the previous rewind. We have the Nightmare Harvester. Now, I was kind of deliberating on where to place this guy in the list, and while I know a lot of people do like him, and of course I respect your guys' opinions, and just because I rank something low doesn't mean I hate it, I just am not a big fan of this guy. The price is way too expensive for him. I know he's really big, and I know the design of the tree is kind of cool, but he's mostly made of fabric in the face, and it just comes across as Muppet-like. It looks too cartoony for a very serious-sounding character, so while I think, some people are gonna really eat this guy up, I'm just not going for him. Up next, we have the Sitting Scare Witch, and I don't hate this prop. In fact, I think it's a good addition to the Sitting Scare line, but I'm not a big witch fan, quite honestly. I know some people are. I personally am not. I haven't really done anything with witches in my haunted houses, and I don't plan to. This isn't a bad character per se, and I can see it working well, especially on front porches, but for me, I'm gonna have to pass on the witch. Up next, we have the Rocking Horse Dolly, and from the get-go, this was my least favorite sneak peek, but there were a few others that I kind of ranked lower at this point. However, I'm still not a big fan of this one. The main reason is the doll is just so overused nowadays. Like I said, it's very similar to the zombie. They just keep reskinning the same monster, trying to make it scary, and it just doesn't. The only thing that redeems this one is the fantastic looking rocking horse, which in fact, if it was just a rocking horse, I'd probably rank it towards the top. Up next, we have the Flying Vulture, and I know a lot of people are pretty big fans of this guy. I really do like him, not positive if I'm gonna get him per se, but I do think he's a very cool character. Reminiscent of the hanging bat we saw last year, we have another flapping animal animatronic, and for the price, I can see him being a great deal. We also have, speaking of animals, the Roaming Spider. And this guy is a little bit pricey for what you get. He is just an RC spider. But I do like the concept. I do like the size. I do like the way he looks. And, while he's not perfect, and perhaps I won't pick him up necessarily, I can see him being a real fun addition to 2018. On our next spot, we have the Burlap Horror Scarecrow. A lot of people are really big fans of this guy, and while I agree I think he really looks cool, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of him. In order for a static prop to really wow me, it has to be something completely new and original. And while I would say he's very, very cool, he doesn't stand up like the hazmat zombie did, at least for me, last year. So while I think Burlap Horror Scarecrow is awesome, his hands are especially cool, and I can't wait to see him in stores. He's kind of in the middle of this list because he's not terrible, but personally not in my top favorites list. Also, coming up next, we have Man's Possessed Friend. Now, this one wasn't technically a sneak peek on YouTube, but it was a sneak peek on Spirit Halloween's website that they uploaded just recently. This is a dog inside of a doghouse, and I love the originality of the concept. I would prefer a little bit of a cheaper price tag because it really is just a dog's head that pops out of a black fabric sheet on a facade doghouse. But I do have to say he is very cool. I love the design, and I think he is going to be a great seller for 2018. We also have The Crawling Dead. Now, when this first came out, I really liked it, and I love the design of it. I do think it's very reminiscent of some older props we've seen, so it's not completely original, but I think the way they pulled it off is very nice. It also is remote controlled, and you'll see that when you go in stores this year, and I think that's a great added feature to the selling of this prop. It also is a bit cheaper than a lot of the other things we've seen this year, so it's going to be worthwhile for a lot of people. Up next, we have the Ghostly Tricycle. Now, when I first heard about this prop, I was a little iffy on it because I thought it was going to be cool looking, but I thought the audio was going to be down the toilet. But I was completely wrong. I actually really like the audio of this. I also love the way it moves creepily. It's just very uncanny and unnatural and spooky, which is one of the great reasons why I love it. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up, but if I have the extra funds to get a little bit of a smaller prop, I am definitely going to try to seek this out with a coupon. We also have Hugs the Clown. I know so many people are raving about this prop, and for good reason. I think this is one of the best clown props we've seen in a long time, even reflecting back to 2013 with the Clown Train. I think he's just really well done. I love the purple color and the way he has that sign that says free hugs on him. It's a really neat concept, and they use that lunging motion to the advantage of the character. We also have the Lost Way Girl. I thought I was going to rank her higher on my list, but what's dragging this prop down for me is its audio. I really love the way this prop looks and moves, but the audio just sounds too modern for a Victorian age looking girl. But still, I really do think she's cool, and for the price tag, she's going to be worth it for a lot of people. So I'm very excited to see her in stores too. We also have the Looming Strawman. When I first saw this prop, I honestly wasn't a big fan. But after rewatching the sneak peek over and over again, he's really dawned on me, and he's now one of my top picks for this year. I love the originality of the Scarecrow design. It's very unique, but at the same time holds true to a lot of Scarecrow appearances we've seen in movies, maybe you saw in a Goosebumps book, or just a Scarecrow in real life. I also love the accent he has and the way he kind of lunges out. Though I admit it's not super scary, it's definitely unnatural looking, and I think he's going to make a great addition to a lot of Halloween scenes. Shockingly, one of my new favorite animatronics is the Forgotten Farmer. Now, I know he has a comedic side and a scary side, but I just love the way this prop looks. The base is a little iffy for me if you see the pictures from the Spirit Halloween website, but that aside, I just love the way this prop comes across. It's kind of cartoonish and funny, but also has a fun, creepy vibe to it. I'm also a big fan of heads for some reason, and the way his eyes move are just really cool. I also think he's going to be much bigger in person than he looks in this video. Up next, we have the Pumpkin Patch Prowler. When I first saw this guy, I liked him, but I didn't think he was going to end up being such a popular pick for my personal taste. I really do love the originality of the pumpkin design. He screams Halloween and just looks really cool. I also love animatronics that have a constant looping animation, and I think when done right, it can look really cool for a display, and he nailed it. My one issue with this guy is he is a little bit expensive, but I think his height, his size, his animation is going to make up for that price. Now we're getting into the top picks. Here we have Cocooned Corpse. I love the creepy factor of this prop. I do think he is a tad expensive. I know the other props we've seen with this same mechanism are about the same price, but those props had a little bit more detail. This is just a guy covered in spider webs, so I do think he should have been around maybe $120 to $130. But all of that aside, I think this is a great concept for an animatronic. It's just very unnatural, very creepy how he just kind of mumbles underneath all that spider webbing. I can see him being made into a lot of really cool haunted house designs incorporated into a lot of themes, so I'm really excited to see him for 2018. And here we are in the top 3. Let's go to Double Trouble. This might be my favorite of the original designs for Spirit Halloween 2018. While I have to admit I'm still kind of bummed that it isn't licensed from The Shining, these twins are super creepy, they are at a pretty affordable price, and they're a great height for any display. I absolutely love the creepy factor. They're nothing boo scare you, but in a right situation with lighting, with decor around these characters, they're going to make a fantastic display for Halloween, and I can see a lot of people getting creeped out by these two little girls. They look fantastic and lifelike. I love how their heads move in sync. They are just really cool. And now to my top 2. Number 2, we have the Bump and Go Chucky. Now, I will admit I don't necessarily like the way the Roomba looks, and I know a lot of people are going, Hauntformer, you're just picking this because it's Chucky, and yeah, I guess I kind of am, but I can't help it. I really want to have this prop because it is Chucky. I'm such a big horror movie nut that I really want to get the horror movie pieces while they're out. So I guess you can kind of tweak this list if you're looking at it from an animatronic standpoint versus a licensed standpoint, but I still really do love the animated Chucky. He does look really cool. I love the head movement and the way he's holding the knife and how you can kind of position him in certain ways, and I think he's going to look really neat in person as well. And finally, number 1 has yet to be beaten, and I don't think it ever will be, Michael Myers. The only sad thing was, he was our first sneak peek, and he never got topped. Though, I will admit, it's really hard to beat Michael Myers. One of my favorite horror movie characters of all time. He also looks great in this animatronic form. I know he's licensed from Halloween H2O, but Michael Myers looks very similar in all of the Halloween films. I love the way that he plays the original Halloween theme. I love the knife movement. I love the way his body turns. His mask looks really nice. Just overall, I don't really have many complaints on this guy. He is a bit expensive, but taking the licensing and the movement into the account of this guy, I can understand the price tag. There's already been some people who have received him online, and he is looking fantastic. He is my number 1 pick for Spirit Halloween 2018, and I can't wait to see Michael Myers and the rest of the Halloween lineup in stores. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys taking your time to watch it. In the comments below, leave your thoughts about your favorite, your least favorite, and everything in between in terms of Spirit Halloween sneak peeks for 2018. I'll see you in the next video, and remember as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.